Hey everyone, how are you? I'm trying this mic again, I've been trying to use it a bit more lately. I'm finding the flaws in it and stuff, slowly working out how it's best to use it. I don't know. I think it's best for noise cancellation, so you guys could hear me pretty clearly. A lot of background noise, I think it kind of cancels out. Today we're joined by Mega Gears, which I just got today. Oh, I love this, dude. I'm so happy I got this. I'm just gonna let you guys know now. Actually, I was gonna do an unboxing video, but I kind of already unboxed it. So I might still do an unboxing video, but like it won't actually be. It'll just kind of be like the basically I'm curious. But this video I wasn't never intending on making. In fact, I was gonna try to make this today and post it, but I just got home and my big video for the night already came out that I had scheduled, which you guys should go check out. It came out yesterday. When I'm recording this, as I'm recording this, it came out today, but technically it came out yesterday. Probably when you guys are watching this. But it's just me tier listing the Monsterverse battle so far. But this video I'm making, it's going to delay all the rest of the videos coming out the week. So far that includes tomorrow. I believe I have something called an hour of Godzilla PS4 footage. And then the day after that, so Thursday, will be something called the Brilliance of Godzilla, which is going to be like a 50-minute long video. And then probably make a video about Mega Gears Friday, and I should have some other videos coming out here and there. That's not even counting all the PS4 videos coming out. This is just like my core. These are like the core videos or whatever, and then there's PS4 videos in case I miss a day of recording or anything. I have matches scheduled to come out till like February, so. But damn, I record on my phone. You guys probably know that. And someone just called me, ruined my day. Anyways, though. So this comes from Tedusith. I honestly, I'm so bad with names, guys. You guys shouldn't do this to me. He's someone who has been posting information throughout the community on YouTube about GvK. He's one of the ones that goes along with the other leaks we were talking about, which has Jermunjkan or whatever it's called. the guy who the world serpent, because I still don't know how to pronounce it. Someone even like spelled it out for me or whatever, I think, but oh well. But and he's one from that leak. He's one of the sources. He came on a video of mine recently and sent me something brand new completely, which I think he mentioned before. He kind of tried to he's talking about Sayaka's leak and is trying. He kind of connected it with his. I was kind of thinking about it too, but I don't know. He kind of tried to explain why Sayaka left some details vague or doesn't know certain details. And he brings up something very interesting, so let's talk about it. So he said on this in this big paragraph he sent me, he said, I know Sayaka leaked. He mentions about the Hong Kong battle that everyone knew about. The reason he isn't for sure about Mecha G is because two intertwined scripts. I mentioned 2 months ago about Universal's issue about having a robot in a Kong movie. Universal is consulted by Legendary because they own the majority rights of King Kong. The same can be said about Toho with Godzilla. Since Shin Godzilla, Legendary worked out a deal for Toho to distribute King of the Monsters and GvK in Japan. Now, you're wondering, why Universal when it's Warner Brothers? Legendary worked with Universal and not WB, Warner Brothers, on the sequel to Pacific Rim. To think Universal doesn't have a say about Kong is ridiculous. I know all about the public domain of the character. The truth is, the majority of the rights of King Kong is owned by Universal. They're in a loop with Kong. The reason Sayaka can't pin down Mecha G's role is because there is confusion. Will Mecha G be a part of GvK? Yes. I'm only hearing to set up a man versus nature versus technology plot in Godzilla 3. Mecha G will be used at first to contain Godzilla if needed, until it goes berserk, causing mankind to lose control, containing its technology. Godzilla would already be looking at mankind as a threat after GvK. Remember, Godzilla is Earth Guardians, not mankind's guardian. Godzilla will understand humans more by the actions of King Kong. GvK is a very emotional film that is separate from the other films in the Monsterverse. The reason Sayaka has no clue about the Ultimate Titan, Serpent, is because the Serpent is only going to be used if they decide to ever do a cross-franchise film again with Godzilla and King Kong. They're using Kamazots from Maya mythology, I think that's how it's pronounced. You know, if you know mythology, you know what I'm talking about, and you know about Kamazots, the Bat God. In the next Kong comics for the Monsterverse, who saw that coming? Regardless, the plan moving forward is to continue, big budget or not. Toho wants to continue with its library, doing more Godzilla films. You can also expect new Kong films as well. They want to continue Kong going forward as a protector as well. Netflix is a fallback option for future films. Smaller budget would bring back the traditional suitimation. The focus right now is GvK. The Jurassic Park fan, the casual fan that would go see Icon to Icon. The whole purpose of this universe was to pit Godzilla versus King Kong. This has always been the Avengers of this universe. After a while, it will stale. Legendary and Warner Brothers has zero motive in boasting. My dog's about to go off. Toho's library of kaijus. There was two major reasons they even allowed the three Toho monsters in King of the Monsters. Reason one was to avoid 1998 America versus Toho Godzilla debate. The hardcore will know this is the only and real Godzilla in this universe. Reason 2 was to stop Toho, who actually did quite a lot of damage to this universe. To say that Shin Godzilla in the anime had no effect on the sales of King of the Monster is false. Now that all the parties are working together in harmony, and Toho will work with Legendary, they can get back to growing the universe, or basically ending it with its highest note with GvK. I'm waiting like Sayaka about the role of Mecha G and end all the speculation. The outcome of this GvK. The outline script of GvK that I reported is correct. The two protectors, the discussion about a future battle from the rumor trailer, is from the Monarch discussing the cave painting prophecy. GvK is about old guard versus new guard. Kong doesn't care or respect the Titan hierarchy. The Iwi tribe is aware of Godzilla and will come for a day of reckoning. Since King of the Monsters, the Titan that migrated to Skull Island have either been defeated or fell under the rule of King Kong. Godzilla will destroy any Titans that don't obey him. Kong is a new Titan super specimen of his kind, species, whatever. The seismic activity is a major problem on Skull Island. Kong will look for answers. GvK is a battle between two kings or two gods. They don't want to team up. They actually don't need other Titans. Godzilla vs. King Kong will sell on its own. They're not messing up this film to worry about the future. Legendary and Warner Brothers are content on ending all of it as a grand finale is needed. The Serpent is something that will be mentioned about the Earth's core, so it's going to leave a tiny door open. So, damn, that took like 4 minutes to talk about, didn't it? Okay, so basically what we can get from that, I think he has mentioned this before, about the whole Universal thing, but basically I'm just kind of going to break down what he said real quick. Basically, first off, he talks about the Sayaka leak. He talks about how everyone knew about the Hong Kong battle, and he basically says the reason Mecha G isn't why Sayaka wouldn't be too sure about Mecha G's role. Apparently, there's 2 different scripts, according to Ted. He says apparently there's 2 different intertwined scripts. I'm assuming, I don't know if that means they kind of try to mix them together, or if there's just 2 being tangled and like they're just kind of take elements from both. I'm not sure exactly what it means. There's Universal, he's mentioned this before. Universal apparently is having a pretty big issue, and giving Legendary and Warner Brothers a pretty hard time with this film, because they don't want a Warner Brother, or they don't want a robot in a Kong movie. I don't know if that has to do with Mechani Kong. I know there's a lot of rights issues with Mechani Kong, and I don't think any Universal Kong films ever had a robot in it, only the Toho ones, and it's probably something like that led to them trying to just, keep Kong out of the, Mechani Kong or whatever, not Mechani Kong, because we're never going to see Mechani Kong again, probably, but just a robot in general out of Kong movies. It's probably something with Universal not wanting to have a robot in Kong. I'm not sure why they would, but apparently because it's kind of shared rights, they're kind of trying to fight it right now, getting with GvK being in the film. But it sounds like Mecha G will be in the movie still, but it is possible that they're delaying it. That is part of the reason it's getting delayed. It's because maybe they're trying to rewrite Mecha G to not be as big of a role, or like I'm not sure exactly if Universal does have an effect on it. But I have heard this quite a few times about Universal apparently having some issue. Pretty much all from him, but if anyone has any inside sources, like people come out here with their inside sources all the time, but you can't be for sure exactly on the internet. I don't know for sure if Warner Bros. And them are actually having a battle right now with Universal for the rights of Kong and like having a robot in the film. If that's the case, I don't know. I feel like that's a hard battle to win, because I feel like Universal is like it's the next biggest thing to Disney. I feel like that would be a really hard battle to win for Legendary and Warner Brothers if that were to go anywhere, but I doubt it would. I'm not sure exactly why it's being such a battle and stuff. I honestly don't know. I can't really give too many details because it's kind of vague, but it's like I still don't understand why exactly Universal would be fighting it and having such a big issue, and if it would have an effect on the film or not. But yeah. So then he does talk about him going berserk again, just like Kiryu or something, but that's no big deal. We've already had that discussion a couple times of him going berserk. He said the reason Saika has no clue of the Ultimate Titan, it's kind of like what I heard other people mentioning, not this guy, but in the actual forms of Saika, it's probably because he possibly either A, legit hasn't heard about it. Remember, this is if the Ultimate Kaiju is real. There's a chance it's not real. I mean, going with the after credits of Godzilla vs. Kong, I think it could be very possible. Basically, if it's not true, this is going on if it is true, though. If he legit just hasn't heard about him, it's like an after credit thing that he, I don't know. Or it's one of those things that he doesn't want to spoil, just like he didn't want to spoil the winner of the fight itself. And like this guy made a good point, we saw Kamazots from another big mythology, so why not throw, the guy from the World Serpent from Norse. But he also mentioned about how if you go back to the trailer leak, he talked about how like which I kind of assumed this too, going off of it. There's supposed to be a sort of like a discussion about a great battle. That's how it's described in that Russian Expo trailer leak thing that we were trying to see if we think it's true or not. But if that is true or whatever, so the Russian Expo, basically, it's supposed to be them fortune telling of a great battle between Godzilla and Kong, the two Guardians, which honestly that sounds about right. I can believe that. Actually, we're very well aware that people can see into the future in this universe. It's happened already in the comic books, just not in the movies yet. So I'm sure they'll interest. I mean, like people have telepathic connections and stuff with the kaiju. So I can believe it. Especially if it's coming from the Iwi tribe. Like it's always stuff like tribes and stuff that can see into the future. He talked about apparently they are setting up for this to be the final film if it doesn't do well. Basically, he's saying that they're ready to end this on a high note if this doesn't do well. Apparently, he says they're thinking about moving forward too, maybe with a small budget, going to Netflix and using Suitimation. Can be kind of odd to me if they went to Netflix, because that doesn't sound right, honestly. Like, why wouldn't they go to their own streaming service? You know, I'm not saying he's lying or he's wrong or like, you know, like this could all be true or fake. You know, you never know. But apparently, Netflix might be a fallback option or something. I don't know. It would be interesting to see some American pseudomation, smaller budget Godzilla films, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, 2014 was the first time we even saw a full CGI Godzilla film. 98 even used some pseudomation puppetry stuff. So I don't know about that. He says part of the reason that that King of the Monsters did bad was because Shin Godzilla and stuff. Again, I don't know. You know, I don't understand why that would necessarily have an effect on it, since that's kind of Japanese thing. That's not really big on the American stuff. The big effect to me is Avengers Endgame and Aladdin. Those are the two big things, because so many movies got destroyed because of stuff like that. So you can all think Avengers Endgame. So I'm not really going in depth with that. You know, to me, it's Avengers Endgame. Apparently, they have no motive to boost Toho's library. That's kind of weird. I'm assuming, in case you don't know what that means, I'm assuming that means they're not planning on bringing any other Toho kaijus, and they'd probably just bring in their own. Which I'm not necessarily mad about. You know, I think it'd be kind of cool. You know, I'd be okay with it either way. America making the original kaijus and Toho doing, you know, the old ones, or vice versa. I think I'd prefer America doing the Titans, like the Toho library, while Toho made new kaijus. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I don't think that's how it sounds like that's not how it's gonna work. So I'm assuming that means they're planning on making a bunch of new kaijus. It sounds like they have Mechagodzilla, so there's why not just going ahead and do him? I mean, might as well. He was in Ready Player One and stuff. Going off Timo, the Rules of Earth owner, he said that Legendary can do whatever they want with the Toho library. So yeah. So I mean, it's definitely possible that they could, like, because Michael, Gareth, all them. Well, no, Gareth just wanted Mechagodzilla in the universe at some point, but like Michael and all them, they wanted Biollante and Gigan, I think, in these films. So, is there any other anything else in particular he talked about that I want to talk about? He says apparently the serpent is something that's kind of mentioned throughout the movie. And then kind of there in the credits or whatever to leave a door open. I don't know if he means they've already rewritten it and stuff, which will have a video coming, but I think that's about the gist of it. So, and yeah, it talks about how Toho is working very well with Legendary and them, the Credit Universe. So that's about it, guys. That's all I have for today. If you guys enjoyed, please give me your thoughts below. Share, like, subscribe. I guess I'll link the video that has the comment on it. You guys can go down in the comments and read for yourself, since people need proof like crazy. This guy comes on a lot of stuff and talks about information that he goes very in-depth with and lines up with a lot of other leaks. So whether he gets this information from someone else or not, I don't know. You know, it could be something that he's completely making up, but a lot of his leaks he talks about line up with a lot of the other big leaks coming out, like the toy leaks and stuff that came out. He's mentioned them and stuff too. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, please, if you did, share, like, and subscribe. As always, oh God, peace, Mega Gears, bye bye.